So I just set my camera up and getting myself ready to make this video, and I had a nice little seat in the garden, vase of flowers, and it looks like I've been upstaged by a little bear. So got to rethink this now, haven't I, little bear? He's a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, so you know, I'm sure we'll resolve it. Get yourself a cup of tea. Welcome to the new moon in Gemini video, and let's get started. See you in a minute. So yes, we sorted it out and I moved basically. Yes, two little Geminis in the same house, how beautiful. Welcome, thank you for joining us again in the airways and for being the beautiful butterfly that you are, learning to release your cocoon mind and see the beauty within you and around you, and to truly connect to a higher perspective and your higher guidance system and all of the information that is flowing every minute of every day and evening and night for your benefit and for the greater good, for the whole planet. We are, I say at Butterfly Airways, we are, if you like, a spiritual airline, and we're taking you on a journey, making you more aware of the journey you're already on, perhaps the most tricky, the most dangerous, the most life-threatening feeling journey that you'll ever go on, which is really the shortest distance in physical terms, but the longest distance in terms of realizations and understandings and forgiving, etc. And that's the journey from head to heart. So that's all we're really doing, is making you aware that you're flying, if you like, from this mind cocoon vision to a heart-centered perspective vision, and in your body you connect to your guidance system like an inner net flowing through all things, with all beings, with all of existence, from to the sun, the moon and beyond, helping you see with what I call web sight the truth of who you are. My perspective from all the work I've done in all of my life is that you have a blueprint, I have a blueprint, just as a sunflower does, just as a moonflower does, just as a lion, a tiger, all species have a blueprint, and each aspect of that blueprint grows in slightly different ways according to its conditions and circumstances and ability to follow the light. So your blueprint is unique to you, and it enables you to transcend the limitations of the life you've had if you can tune in and listen to why things are happening and what you're receiving from the things that are happening as a lesson, as a teaching, as a way to transcend and overcome and expand and become more of you. Following the light is the way that you can see quite clearly flowers learn to become their full bloom. Following the light is our path as well. It's not just following the sun, it's following the information that is in the sun, and it's in keeping our minds clear from the clutter and the baggage, the lots of heavy baggage that we hold onto in our hold, so that we can see the light, we can see the information flowing through, and not get clouded by what we think is in the way, the rocks, you know, the heavy rain, the negativity, the challenge, the things we don't agree with. We have to find a way to open our minds to see it from a higher perspective, and that's how we keep following the light, and we keep seeing that information and feeling and intuiting that information. The way I explain that, and then we will get into Gemini, is that our receptivity is required to be able to intuit and feel and understand that information. And I'm guided within to call that the divine feminine. And what I see is the information, the code from the sun coming through all things, like the blueprint, the sacred geometry, I call that the divine masculine. And if you think about DMs in Instagram, divine masculine, direct message, the direct messages sliding in into your DMs is your intuition coming through you every single day. And it's your feminine, whether you're a man or a woman, it's your feminine openness to receive that enables you to get that information coming through, which is where we are all genders, because we have these abilities to receive and act upon information coming through us. That's the foundational thing that I try to say at the beginning of all of these videos. And then what we go on to in these particular videos is talk about the 12 different energies that we fly through on planet Earth every solar year. So every time we go around the sun, we are traveling through different specific energies, and you all know those as the astrological signs. Even as a young girl, I used to think that quite ridiculous. How could a Gemini be a certain trait? How could an Aries? But the more you get into this information as energy and see how life grows in different ways, and different energies help things grow at certain times of the year in certain ways. It grows the bark, it grows the stem, it grows the flower, it opens it up, it sheds the nut, it plants the seed. It's Taurus, it's Capricorn, it's winter, it's roots. You start to understand why, if we came into the world at that time, then potentially we have a predominant tendency to be that kind of human. Now, I believe that we are, and I've heard this in so many different principles, different types of human. So human design, if you want to have a look into that, was channeled by a man from Ibiza, and he talks of 5 different types of human. And if you think about the ant kingdom, if you think about the bee kingdom, you also see that they have different types, and that every different type is needed for the whole. So I believe that the sun is our light, our information, our power, and it works in tandem with all these different planets that are spiraling and keeping us balanced and helping us to stabilize and to internalize and to reconnect with that we really are from a conscious perspective. Humans are the only ones that can be conscious of the beauty and make choices, and that these 5 types of human are being grown. And we're coming to the point in our evolution, through this challenge, through this cocoon that we're in, and we'll continue to be in for some years, on and off, in different ways, that we are being pushed and pressured to start to release our old ways of fighting each other and creating a nutshell, a cocoon around ourselves to protect ourselves. And that the more we realize that we are light, that we are guided, that we won't need to defend ourselves in the same way, and that we can use these energies to be that human that is growing through time. So I call light, L-I-G-H-T, living in guided, held time. And once you can get that ability to sit more in your body and sit back and feel the subtle differences through the year, you will realize you're being grown, you're being shown, and you're being held, and it's basic. As soon as you start looking at other kingdoms of animals or queendoms, you realize, my God, what are humans doing? But it's because we have this mind, and therefore we had the choice to not do it. But that, if you like, is our shell. Our pearl is inside. And as we bang and bang around in this mind that thinks it's separate, that doesn't see its intrinsic, infinitely fine connection to nature, that we keep separating. Once we realize we're not separate, and that we're killing the planet and we need the planet, and the planet is actually tolerating us right now, but also kind of scratching as if we're a flea on its back, that we start to wake up and say, my God, I have to get in my lane, I have to get in my nature, I have to do my thing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Gemini, which I believe is specifically about getting in your lane. So I'm a Gemini. Gemini traits involve communication. We're very good at receiving information, and we're very good at sharing information and editing it down. So if you think about, I'm a Gemini, but also we're in Gemini. So it is the time to align with that information. Just because I'm born at that time doesn't mean all Geminis are the only ones that live in that energy. This energy is one of 12, and each energy helps us to become a more clear version of who we are. So Gemini is about information. It is about code. It is like a computer, if you like. It is the divine masculine. It is the divine messages. And the way I see it is as if you were a stem in a flower, and then you start to consider opening with the summer solstice. In order to do that, you have to have complete trust to blow your mind that if you don't resist, that if you don't fight back, if you accept everything as it is, and you know and you trust this blueprint inside you, and you see it and you follow what it tells you to do by the letter, you open. And you have that opportunity to burst open every single Gemini season. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're on the opposite side of this, so you're right in the drop down phase. So I'm from the northern hemisphere. I'm talking from a northern hemisphere perspective. But if you think about Gemini, it's two polar opposites. So in December, we'll be in the base of that in the northern hemisphere, which means we'll be going right down into the roots, into the dark. So Gemini lifts up to the light and it goes down to the dark. So we have to transcend these dualities in Gemini to flower, to come into the center and flower. So what do I mean by get in your lane? So imagine that you're looking at a one-way street. Actually, this is quite a good thing that I'm sitting in. Imagine that this is the street, this door, and that one side is the pavement and the other side is the pavement. And you could say that Gemini is these extremes, either side. It's information, it's black and white, it's information, keep alive, don't tread there, don't go in the center, go, think, strategize, think, strategize, stay alive, listen to the information. If you only listen to the black and white and the duality, you drive yourself crazy as a Gemini. And a lot of Geminis are a little crazy because they think, analyze. And they think that they can get the answer from their minds. But what we need to do is to transcend this black and white, transcend the she said, he said, they're doing, I'm not, he's having a vaccine, he's not. It's, observe these edges and get in your lane. Get in your lane means be you. Be you. Use your guidance that says, I'm not that, I don't agree with that. Well, don't focus on what I don't want. Focus on what that shows me about me. It says that, perhaps I'm more open-minded, or perhaps I'm actually more closed-minded. Perhaps my preference is this. Use the outside to discover who you are and stay in that lane in Gemini to open. If you, during this month, just focus on what's wrong and what they're doing and what I should be doing and and using opposites and staying in opposites, you can't open. Use the opposites to know yourself. And as Shakespeare said, above all else, know thyself. I think that's correct. So get in your lane. Imagine rows and rows of vegetables in a field, and I'll film some just down the road from me actually, because this came through as an exact example of what I'm talking about. My neighbours that are growing vegetables every year are getting so good at it now. And in the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of rain in Ibiza, and these rows of vegetables now, you can very clearly see what they are. They're revealing themselves. They're above all else knowing themselves. They're following their pattern. So you've got your butternut squash, you've got your sweet peas, you've got your tomatoes, you've got your potatoes. They're revealing themselves. They're saying, yay, I know who I am. I'm not going to go and jump over and be a tomato. If I'm a potato, I'm not going to judge the tomatoes for being tomatoes. I can't be one of those. I'm a potato. So stay in lane means, who are you? What is your blueprint? And what are the outer signs and signals of life telling you? If you're really into politics, but all you ever do is complain about the opposition, you're not recognizing who you are. You're just giving energy to what you don't want. So what could you do for the side that you're on? What could you do for the cause that you feel drawn to support, rather than going against and using these oppositions to ping pong and drive yourself, Gemini, crazy? Grow. The gem in I. The gem in I. The gem in I, in my third eye, my blueprint, where I read who I am, where I can witness opposites, where I can see others that don't agree with me, where I can actually study what they say and maybe open my eyes a little bit, maybe get more open-minded and expanded, but learn what that is telling me about me as my higher self. It's time to get in your lane. Now, the sun in the northern hemisphere is, because we're tipping forwards, we're closer to the sun, so we're closer to this information. It's heating up. It's saying, come on, do it. I'm pumping this information out to you. You've only got this one last month, and then you're going to tip back. Then you're going to have to digest. You're going to have to fruit. You're going to have to rebirth and get the seeds and the wisdom of what you've learned in the first 6 months of this year. So use this time to go to this tipping point and become more and the most of you that you've ever been. If you want to write. If you want to dance. If you want to sing. Do it now and be it and free it. And then these seeds will birth from you. You've said it, you've admitted it, you've expressed it. Gemini is expression, it's playful. It doesn't mind that it makes a mistake. It's very naive, it's very innocent. Gemini is here to show the world, be playful. Be like a child and do it like nobody's watching. That is Gemini. Gem in I. The beauty in me, the beauty in you, coming into its radiant, full self. And then right in the depths at the winter solstice is the seed of that for next year. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. I'm really excited because this is the last energy that I've, of 12 now that I've channeled. I've done all the other months. And it's so nice to have celebrated Gemini last but not least as my own sign, to see that I've birthed me during these last 12 months and become a much purer version of myself. So thank you if you've been on the whole journey with us. We will be doing the videos again. We thought we would make them once and once only, but then Gabrielle, who is my business partner in Butterfly Airways, said to me, no, we're doing them again. We've got better at them. You're getting a clearer channel. You're changing. You can't stop now. Can't stop now. You're having such a good time. I'm having a ball. So yeah, had my birthday 2 days ago. I feel like I'm really accepting the opposition in my life. I'm accepting the things that sometimes I used to moan about, and really that would just keep me stuck in my cocoon. They're not doing this and I wish they were like that, and why isn't this like this, and why didn't this happen in my life? Because I was becoming this me, and I am in my lane, and I am so grateful. As the rising sun rises you and reveals the gem in I, the gem in you, I truly wish that you take that risk. I was going to swear then, but I won't. Take that risk to be you. Be the fool like you see in tarot, and step over the edge and just see. that it wasn't such a great fall. It wasn't dangerous because you're an adult now. You're wise. You're not a naive child. Receive the DMs sliding through you and listen. Get in your row, get in your lane, and let the sun lead you in this school, which is the university. Imagine if the sun is like a plane that is taking us on a spiraling journey and that we are actually going home. Imagine that us on Earth, this Earth school, this new Earth plane, that we're being taken somewhere. This spiraling journey is leading us into the light and it's leading us into our truth. Imagine. Some of you believe what I'm saying already, but imagine it as a playful idea and a playful concept now that actually you're on a journey and it's so much bigger than he said, she said, they're doing, they're not doing. Don't look to politicians to be your guru. They are in their cocoons. How can they know what's right for humanity? I'm not saying break the law in any way, but I'm saying accept where we're at as a species. Don't fight what hasn't woken up yet. Wake yourself up and be part of that domino effect. I'm going to pull you a card to end with. Now these are called Nature's Whispers Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall. And these were gifted to me by a beautiful friend of mine when she was on the island last week. So I'm going to pull you a beautiful card and invite you to invite some oracle cards into your life if you don't have these as little friends, because they are so cathartic, so widening for the mind. They clear the perspective. It's nice to pull a card a week or a month, put it on your altar, something like that, to give you that guiding light. Gemini is the birthing canal. It really is. This is it now. This is it. The next 3 or 4 weeks is it for this year, and then we're going to start returning. The light will go in. The light will darken. So this is it. Give yourself extra space, extra time to let the fire fly through you. I don't believe it. Leap of faith. It's exactly what I said, isn't it? Take the leap of faith. Take the risk. I will put a photograph of this up for you at the end. Leap of faith. I don't believe it. 22. It's my favourite number. Wow. And the net. Look at this card. The net, the web that we're all connected to, and the wings that open in the mind and flower when we really connect to that inner net. We develop the website, the gem in I. The seed in you. It's all so obvious. It's just too basic to be denied, really. It's the fear in the body. It's the fear of denying this that we're, that's what makes us scared, is because we're so much more than we think. We have to die to the old self. See this as a chance to create something wonderful. You are in a transition period where you need to draw on your faith, intuition and knowledge and take the leap. You will not fail. You have a safety net of support in place. You will overcome your fear and find a beautiful outcome is on the horizon. This leap of faith is the best course of action at this time. If you do make a mistake, you have the ability to try again and learn from what did not work the first time. All signs indicate that if you just trust, you will succeed. Jump head first into the void of the unknown. Even if you eventually fall, for a while you will soar. Ta-da! Yeah, what to say about that is exactly what we were saying, isn't it? And yeah, you're so much more. You're so much more. Stay in lane. Stay in lane. It's too important to be you, to focus on what's wrong all the time. Use it as a guiding light. Use it as a justification. You know, if you learnt to type in the old days, you had a border each side, a margin on the page, and you had to use those to justify your text. If you like, duality is there to justify your text, to justify who you are, so you stay in lane. But don't use justification to prove others wrong. Use justification to become who you are. Become who you are. Do it this month. Be it this month. What is it you want to play with? What is it you want to dream about? What is it you want to say that you don't dare say? How's this year gone? What has it been showing you? What is it bringing to light to you? Listen in. If you want to join us as a patron, as a member of Butterfly Airways, and enter our Butterfly Airport, I post most days a message guiding you through the lunar cycle every month to keep you in lane, to keep you in the right energy, because every month we rise and fall. So the solar year we rise and fall, December to June, June to December, and then every month in the moon cycle we also rise and fall. So we also have these realizations and releases every single lunar cycle. How beautiful that these cycles are going on, growing you. The universe is growing many species, and humans are at that point of coming into flower. And it's been prophesied by all tribes from all times. And if you look inside Egyptian temples, you'll see the ancient hieroglyphics and drawings showing electricity coming through the mind, coming through the body. If we can become a receptacle. Look at the temple of Dendera, the temple of Hathor, the goddess of receptivity, and the symbology that the Egyptians used to carve into stone for us to see in these times. It's all there. They knew. They were so close to the technology. They were using it to make things they were making. It's incredible who we already are. And just as the dogs go into chaos, I'll leave you with that thought and show you the vegetables down the road, and a little bit about Ibiza landscape, which is now getting ready to pop and to burn and to open. All the grasses and the flowers are dying down now, letting the seeds go down, which will sink down, so that they'll grow again next year. One of the wonders of the world is the flowers of Ibiza from November through to May. So thank you so much for being with me. I wish you a gorgeous June. Do message me if you need support or a one-to-one, any intuitive guidance. I work online, or come to Ibiza if you're able. And I'll see you in Cancer. I'll see you in a month, where we really come home to ourselves and radiate and fruit the joy of the work that you're doing this time. So have a great month, and I'll see you soon. So much love, Butterfly. Thank you.